What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. NBA DFS video. It is Tuesday. It is November 14th, and we are back with another video for you, breaking down today's slate. So we've got a number of games. We've got a good number of games finally. More than 4, less than 14 like we had the other day. And we're going to do, we're going to do exactly what we do. So if you've never been here before, we're going to go off the article. So in this article, which you can find in the description, so it would be very helpful if you click the link in the description just to show some love so I can see the stats, how many people actually click the link. So we're going to go through the article. We're going to give you three top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position. Now, these are early projections. They will change a little bit. These are basically floor projections. They're not max projections because we're not projecting out like Jokic to have a triple-double, but he's very capable of that every single game. Embiid, I think, has like 7 straight double-doubles. There are questionable players today, so we are kind of monitoring that. So throughout the day, the news will break whether or not the questionable players are in or out. If they're out, then obviously value plays will open up and we'll be able to see a lot more. So we're going to go over that. We're going to look at the Vegas odds. We're going to look at the fantasy points allowed by position. Then we're going to go over some of our simulations. So if you've been with us for a while, you know that with MLB, we had 10,000 simulations a day. In the article and video that we did, we showed you the top players after 2,000 simulations. So we're going to do the exact same thing. So normally we simulate about 10,000 times a day. Towards the end of the video, we're going to go over the top 10 players after 2,000 simulations. And it shouldn't come as a surprise, but simulations have been pretty on point this season so far. We're, 3 weeks into the season. Teams have been playing about 10 games or so. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty where we're seeing how some of the DVP works, points allowed by position works, and we're going to look at that. So towards the end as well, we're going to go over the top players at each position via DVP. So some people like it, some people don't. You have an option to use it if you will. So that being said, if you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Anytime a video gets at least 50 likes, you leave a comment, you are a subscriber, you have a chance to win a free week of DFS content. Anytime a video gets at least 100 likes, you leave a comment, you are a subscriber, you have a chance to win a monthly pass. That includes, right now, MMA, NBA, NFL, and PGA. So, anytime a video gets 125 likes, you have a chance to win a free year. And if any of our videos ever get 150 likes, you leave a comment, you are a YouTube subscriber, you have a chance to win a lifetime pass, normally worth $4.99. So, that being said, we still have 1 coupon code left for the yearly pass. If you click on or go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com or click on the article, FTA Plus, click on the year. Use the promo code Thursday, all one word, all capital letters. You will get a yearly pass, normally $199 for $75. So that being said, let's jump into the article real quick and see the players and their current projections. Now again, these are early projections. They can change a little bit. So if you want, go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com throughout the day. We put out the projections we put out the DFS minutes played, the fantasy points allowed by position, Vegas, top plays, player projections, the chalk plays, DFS cheat sheet, and our NBA bets. So, just looking at the point guard position right now, Luka Doncic, we're looking at about 55 fantasy points. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets more than that. If we kind of just look game log, started off really well, 3 straight games of 70, a little bit down. He's still averaging 61 fantasy points. Now, and we mentioned this in every video, but when you're looking for cash games, you're looking for at least 6 times value. So you'll be looking at 66 or 67, give or take 67.6 for the value. 7 times value would be what you're looking for minimum for tournaments to cash in. So that's kind of the thought. Now, Again, it's going to be difficult to find every single player hit 7 times value in a tournament. It can happen. It doesn't happen too often, but it definitely can happen. So that is just a baseline. You're looking at 6 times value up to 7 or more times value. So this is where it comes in handy, where let's say you build your lineup. You have, all of your players go off for, let's say, 6 times value, and then 2 of your players are players that are last minute value plays because someone's out, and then that player's minimum priced at like $3,500, $4,000. Then they go off for 10 times value, so they get 40 at $4,000. That will offset a little bit and kind of make it a little bit easier when your one player doesn't go off for 6 or 7 times value. So that's definitely something to look at. That is why value plays are huge for NBA. And that is what will differentiate yourself. And we will get you covered. All you got to do, go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So we got SGA projected about 50 fantasy points. LaMelo Ball at 49. Mid-tier here, we've got Josh Giddey at 33. Ben Simmons 32. Skylar Mays 32. Then our value plays here right now. Again, value plays will open up throughout the day, so that is definitely something to monitor. But as of now, we got Kyle Lowry at 28, Bruce Brown 28, and Jordan Hawkins at 28. Our shooting guards, we got Steph Curry, who is questionable. Now, looking at this, he's played every single game, and I think he's played like 35-plus minutes in every single game, and it might be catching up to him. If you look at this, there's a lot of questionable guys today. And it's a lot of maybe it's rest, maybe they are hurt. So, he's played 30-plus minutes, so might be a little bit wear and tear. A lot of these names are going to either go on to the not going to play today or off the questionable injury report after shoot-around. So, this is definitely something to look at. Obviously, if Curry is out, that opens up some value here. If you were to look, that would open up. That would open up like Chris Paul could get a little bit of bump. He's 6,100. Gary Payton possibly, maybe a little bit bump in minutes there. So that's definitely something that might open up. Corey Joseph, probably not much there. He's playing 2 minutes. I can't imagine being an NBA player. Like, I finally made it, and then you're in the game for 2 minutes. Watch out for Curry. Watch out for all of these questionable tags. We will definitely see who is in and who may be out today. We got Anthony Edwards at 44 fantasy points, Desmond Bane at 43. Mid-tier, Cade Cunningham 38, Shaden Sharp 37. We've got James Harden 36, and then mid-tier value, Dyson Daniels 25, Talon Horton Tucker 25, and Luke Kennard at 24. Moving to the small forward, you got Paul George at 41, Lauri Markkanen 41, Jimmy Butler 40. Mid-tier here, we got Franz Wagner at 35, Cam Thomas 35, and Oscar Thompson 34. And then our value picks so far right now at small forward, Royce O'Neal 25, Bogdan Bogdanovic at 24, and Andrew Wiggins at 23. Moving to the power forward, you got Victor Wembanyama at 41, Zion Williamson 40, Paolo Banchero 39. Mid-tier here, we got Aaron Gordon at 34, Michael Porter Jr. 33, PJ Washington at 32, and then your value picks here, Dorian Finney-Smith 26, Duncan Robinson 26, and Ryo Hachimura at 24. Moving to this center position, it's no question, Nikola Jokic at 60. If you just look at him, I don't think it's a surprise, but we're looking at 84 his last time. Obviously, we're not projecting out 84. He hit value at 12,000. In that game, he had 21 rebounds, 11 assists, 36 points, triple-double there. He's not going to get that every time. So if you look at that, going up against Houston, so Houston against the center position, where are they at? Houston Rockets, yeah, I mean, he's basically matchup proof because they, only give up 57.8 fantasy points per game. They rank 22nd out of 30. So obviously they don't give up a ton of points, but they did. Jokic is just a beast. If you're going to pay for him, I completely understand that. Yeah, he's had at least a double-double in every single game. So that would be one of my bets for the night, would be a Jokic double-double or even a Jokic triple-double there. So definitely something to look at. He's a beast. As long as he's healthy and he doesn't get hurt, we're good to go with him. You got Embiid, 55 fantasy points. Now, he is a little banged up. He is questionable. He hasn't missed a game. He's had a double-double in every single game. If he is in and you want to save a little bit of money, you could look at him because he does have a better matchup against Indy. Anthony Davis, same thing. He's questionable. He's going to be hurt. If he is in and LeBron is out, I absolutely love Anthony Davis today. But again, we got to pay attention. He has got that questionable tag. We know that he does get hurt a lot, but he had a fantastic game his last game out. He had a questionable tag last game out, put up 62.25 fantasy points, which he had 6 times value, which is exactly what we needed out of him when we used him. Then we got mid-tier Jaren Jackson Jr. at 39, Karl Anthony Towns 38, Chet Holmgren 36, and then our value picks here at the center position: Nick Claxton 30, Mark Williams 30, and Jonas Valanciunas has 30 fantasy points as well. So that being said, that is the article. If you want to show it some love, that would be awesome. Click the link in the description. That is this article today. Please help us out doing so. So we can look at the Vegas odds real quick. I'm not going to go over all of them, but we are going to look at some of these. So looking at this, we've got the top place. Now, it's good to look at the highest over-unders right now. So 76ers at Pacers, 240.5 over-under. 76ers being a 5.5 point favorite. So you could look at that. You could also pivot to a little bit of Pacer players if you want. We've got Pelicans versus Mavericks. Mavs are a 3.5 point favorite, 239.5 over-under. We got the Thunder at the Spurs. Thunder are a 9 point favorite, so the blow-up potential is there. 237.5 over-under. Drop it down a little bit. Hawks versus Pistons. Pistons, our Hawks are a 4.5 point favorite. We've got 233.5 over-under there. You got the Lakers versus Grizz, a 4.5 point favor. Nuggets at Clippers could be a close game. We've got a lower total here, 223, but Nuggets are only a 6 point favorite, so this is definitely a game you can monitor if you're looking in that direction. And like I said, if you want to look at this, you come through here. A lot of people like DVP, some people don't. You come through, you look at who's the worst. Memphis Grizzlies are the worst team against the point guard, so that brings us to here. That would be Lakers. So then we're looking at point guard. We're looking at D'Angelo Russell. So he has the best matchup here. So we're looking at that. He's, 7,500. He is up 1,000 since his last game. So that kind of stinks. We're looking at that. You need at least 43 fantasy points out of him to hit value. So maybe you don't want to go with him. But as you look at this, the only point guard that is in for the Lakers today. We could look at the Spurs. They give up the second most. So we look at where San Antonio is. That's OKC. That's SGA. That's Giddey, depending on where they're playing. SGA is in a good spot. He's 10,300, but he's getting the points there. But he's not hitting 6 times value. So there's definitely something to look at. If you have questions, you can always go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. You can go under here, and you can check out all of the information that we have to offer. So, like I said, we were going to go over the top players at each position via DVP. So if we look at that right now, number one, let's look at point guards. Number one is SGA versus San Antonio. So I really like that. Number two is Luka Doncic versus New Orleans. Number three, we've got D'Angelo Russell. So we've hit 2 of the 3 right now. Number 4 is Trae Young versus Detroit. And number 5, as of now, is Tyrese Maxey versus Indy. Now, Indy should be, and if you look at this, the highest over-under, and Indy's an underdog. So, you got to have some points being scored for Philly. I think it's going to be, I feel it's going to be Tyrese Maxey, and it's going to be Embiid. Now, if Embiid is out, then Maxey, I love him even more. I don't think Embiid's going to be out, but if he were to be out, I would love Maxey even more. Moving to the shooting guard, again, you can go back and forth because a lot of these players are interchangeable with point guard, shooting guard, or they're multi-eligible for different positions. But D'Angelo Russell's number one, but we already covered him for point guard. Shaedon Sharpe versus Utah is one. Josh Giddey versus San Antonio is two. Something that might open up a little bit. Skylar Mays, we're looking at him versus Utah. So it depends between Shaedon Sharpe and Skylar Mays. There's about a $200 diff. No, they're the same price. So depending on who's going to get the start or who's going to be playing, you could definitely look at that. We've got DeAnthony Melton versus Indy. Dejounte Murray at Detroit. Or if you want to drop it down for some value here, Drew Smith at Charlotte will drop down a little bit. Now, you can find all of these plays that I'm talking about, NBA tab, right here. Then you can look at the top plays. And it's broken down by DVP, and then it's broken down Fanduel and DraftKings, DVP, and implied team total. Moving to the small forward position. If you're looking for a little bit of value, Jeremy Grant at Utah. Even more value at 3,900 if he's playing. Toumani Camara, 3,900 there. Projected right around 23 fantasy points at his price of 3,900, which is perfect for us. Matisse Thybulle at Utah. I don't mind him. He's another cheap option at 4,300 on DraftKings. Depending if he plays, Aaron Naismith, 4,800. We could look at him. And then we've got Tobias Harris versus Indy at 6,900. Looking at power forward position today. If he's in, we got John Collins versus Portland. Kelly Olynyk, he's more power forward or center position. Again, multi-eligibility versus Portland. So depending on who's playing there for Utah. Obviously, you're saving up money with Kelly Olynyk at 4,500. Victor Wembanyama at KC, a little bit more expensive, but he's a big. He has a great chance here. We got PJ Washington versus Miami. And then we've got Karl Anthony Towns at Golden State. I would love Minnesota a little bit more if Curry is actually out of this game, but we'll definitely pay attention there. Then we look at the center position. I don't think it's a surprise. Joel Embiid at Indy or versus Indy, number one. Number two is Chet Holmgren versus San Antonio. 3 is DeAndre Ayton at Utah. 4 is Jonas Valanciunas versus Dallas. And number 5 is Clint Capella at the Detroit Pistons. So those are your top 5 players at each position. Obviously, some of them will change. Some could update if players are out. But that's what we've got for DVP. If you want to see what I just talked about, that is under NBA tab. That is under NBA DFS top plays. By the time you watch this video, it will be updated. And then looking at our simulations. So these are top 10 simulations. Early simulations. So we've done, like I say, we do 2,000 simulations now, and we do a total of 10,000. So I'll give you simulations for both DraftKings and FanDuel, which are probably going to be pretty similar, if not identical, just because the pricing's the only thing that really changes a little bit. So on DraftKings, top 10 players through 2,000 simulations right now. We've got Luka Doncic, we've got Nikola Jokic, number 1. Luka, number 2. Joel Embiid, number 3. LaMelo Ball, number 4. SGA, Shea Alexander, number 5. Number 6 is Tyrese Halliburton. 7 is Anthony Davis. 8 is Steph Curry. 9 is LeBron James. And number 10 is Trae Young. Now, 3 of those players as of now are questionable. They may not play, being Anthony Davis, Curry, and James. So this has a chance to update throughout the day. That's why we'll do simulations. So we do 2,000 simulations in the morning. We do 5,000, a total of 5,000 around noontime. And then we do the final simulations to equal out 10,000. We do those about 2 hours before tip-off, maybe an hour depending on how much news is coming out throughout the afternoon. So that is DraftKings. FanDuel is different, a little bit different. It's switched a little bit. So number 1 is Nikola Jokic. Number 2 is Embiid. 3 on FanDuel is Doncic. Number 4 is Anthony Davis. 5 is SGA. 6 is Tyrese Halliburton. 7 is Tyrese Maxey. 8 is LeBron James. 9 is Anthony Edwards. And number 10 on FanDuel is Bam Adebayo. So you can see a little bit of difference where the pricing's a little bit different. So those are your top 10 FanDuel and top 10 DraftKings simulations through 2,000 of our simulations. So if you want to check the rest of them, we will have that on the website. We are updating a couple of things on the NBA tab. We're going to have a Bacon Station, which is in the works right now. It's going to be research. It's showing value. It's showing time. It's just showing a bunch of stats as well. So we'll update that. Hopefully that'll be done today. I was having trouble trying to build it out on Excel and put pivot tables for you to make it a little bit easier. So I'm looking at trying to build those pivot tables. So we'll see if I can get those done. For whatever reason, they were airing out on me yesterday. So I want to get that done to make everything easier for you. So if you have not checked out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, please go check it out. Let's make Fantasy Team Advisors as awesome as I know it can be. So we've been around since 2014. We are continuing. We'll about hit our 10th anniversary. I think we'll hit the 10th anniversary will be, I want to say it's like August of next year. So if you're still around in August of next year, we'll have a 10th anniversary extravaganza. We'll have giveaways and stuff like that. So plan for the future. Don't plan whatever you want to do. That's what I've got in this video. If you have questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. If you want to see even more, check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. You can check out all of our free content, and we have the FTA Plus as well. We're working on that with NFL here. Tomorrow we'll bring the updated snap counts. For NFL, we have a ton. So tomorrow we'll bring the updated volume report, the updated snap counts, the updated points allowed by position, and we'll start updating it throughout the day, or throughout the week. So we'll have our rankings out Thursday. I will do a video this week, I promise. My kid being sick, it's been a mess with sick kid and actual work the past couple of weeks. I'm gonna have a rankings video. I'm gonna have a full slate breakdown for the main slate like normal. That'll be out. That'll be there. PGA will be back Thursday. NBA Thursday. NFL Thursday. MMA is coming out this week as well. So we've got a lot going on this week. If you've been with us, awesome. If you want to get on board, check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. That's what I've got in this video. Good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.